This video will show you how to manage gold images from the VERDE VDI Management Console. I'm logged in using Google Chrome to the VERDE server. VERDE VDI is based on Gold Image Masters and provides complete lifecycle management of your gold images. So from the VERDE Management Console, I'll hover over Configuration tab and scroll down to Gold Images. The first note is Cache IO status isn't available on my system, and this will be covered in a separate video. From the gold image screen, you can see that I have already created several gold images. Note that Manage ISOs and Create New buttons are covered in the Create a Gold Image Master video. The Import button will be covered in a separate video as well. I will go over the information that is available from the default gold image screen. The Name column lists what name was given to your gold images. This column has an arrow that allows you to sort the gold image listing, either ascending or descending. The names of your gold images are active links that you can click to modify some of the information that defines your gold images. After clicking on a gold image name, VERDE will display the gold image information. So let's just pick this first one. Most notably, the title, operating system, the system image size, and the assigned owners of this gold image. If I click on the Edit button, VERDE will allow me to change the title, the description, select a different session settings, change the system image max size in gigabytes, and assign by selecting or by removing MC admins that you no longer want to have associated with a particular gold image. By the way, the system image max size can only be increased. You cannot reduce the size of a gold image that's already been created. And in order to do that, you must perform a checkout of the gold image from the previous screen and make the change from within the gold image guest session. I will show this function later. The operating system column can be sorted. This lists the OS that was used to create the gold image. The session settings column can also be sorted. This lists the session settings assigned to the gold image. Session settings define virtual resources that will be applied to the gold image while doing a creation of a gold image or editing a gold image. Things like how much RAM, how many virtual processors, things like that. The Owners column lists the Management Console admins that are assigned to this gold image that have full rights to it. You can assign more than one admin to a gold image. In the Status column, this is the last one that can be sorted and displays the disposition of the gold image. I have several gold images with a status of Published. You can see the status is an active link. When I click on it, VERDE displays the history of the gold image. So let me select one that's had a lot of activity right here. Here you can see the username of the MC admin that worked with the gold image, the actions that they performed, the status of their session, the date and time when the session began and when the session ended. Let me show you another one. The last thing I wanted to show you is the exceptions column. Here's one with this Windows 10 gold image. You can see here that the MC admin named MC admin 1 tried to perform a check-in while the virtual session, the virtual machine, was still active and the check-in failed. I will cover checkout and check-in functions next. Over to the right, you can see the checkout button on all of these gold images. This is a two-stage toggle button. When you click the checkout button, VERDE will prepare the gold image and then reverse the buttons function by changing the button to check in. I performed a checkout of these two gold images, and now you see the button is listed as check in. I will explain further. Any MC admin assigned to a gold image can perform a checkout of a gold image. During a checkout, VERDE prepares the gold image for editing by making a temporary copy of the gold image and placing it in the Linux folder of the MC admin performing the checkout. It is important to note that during a checkout of a gold image, there is no impact on any active virtual desktop sessions or on users starting a virtual desktop session of a specific gold image while the gold image is being edited. The checkout function can take 10 to 20 seconds based on the size of the gold image to stage the gold image. This staging is done to provide a recovery point of a gold image session. During checkout, an active link appears below the button. It is labeled Abort Checkout and is presented after the gold image has been prepared for editing. You can use this in the event that you encounter unforeseen problems while editing the gold image and want to recover back to the last good copy of the gold image. The gold image session must be shut down or aborted before clicking the Abort Checkout. Note, as an example, if MC Admin 2 performed a checkout of a gold image, no other MC admins that were assigned to the same gold image can access the gold image, since VERDE copies the gold image to a private Linux folder of the MC admin that performed the checkout. No other MC admin assigned to this gold image can perform Abort Checkout. Only the MC admin that performed the checkout to begin with can click Abort Checkout. With the gold image prepared for editing, you will see the toggle button change from checkout to check-in on these two. The gold image is now ready for the MC admin to access. Now that I have this gold image in checked out status, I want to show you how to increase the size of the gold image's system image. This is the space that VERDE allocates for the primary layer to install the operating system, OS updates, applications, etc. Sometimes the available space on the primary layer becomes low and needs to be increased. This change can be made from the gold image screen when the gold image status is checked out. Then I'll click on the gold image name, and this will open the profile. Then click Edit to change the system image max size. I've already changed it to 40. I did this earlier. So then I would have saved it and closed this dialog. Now once I've done this to the profile of the gold image, the next steps are going to be performed within the active gold image guest session. So I will launch the VERDE client, log in as the MC admin assigned to the gold image, and launch the Windows desktop. And you can see the gold image is waiting. I'm going to select the second one, the copy. And I'll explain the copy function in just a little bit. I'm going to use the SPICE protocol and I'm going to connect to the desktop. From the Windows desktop on the gold image, I would go to this PC, right click, and click Manage. Windows will auto launch a snap-in and open the computer management screen. Down under Storage, I will click on Disk Management. Then it will prompt me for the master boot record, and I would click OK. And then it tells me to refresh the view, so I'll click under Actions, Refresh. And this shows me disk 0 now at 50 gig. It also shows the current size at 35 gig, and we're adding 15 gigabytes to the size of this gold image system image. So to allocate this new space, I'm going to right click on the C drive box. I'm going to choose Extend Volume. I'm going to click Next and just follow the steps to increase disk 0. In this case, it's going to list 15 gigabytes and list it in megs. I'll click Next and I'll click Finish. Now you see that the C drive is 50 gigabytes instead of 35 gigs. So if I close the computer management and double click on this PC, we should see that reflected in the size of our C drive. Now our C drive is showing 49.5 gigs or 50 gigs. So after completing changes to a gold image, in this case we expanded the size of the system image, you would perform a normal shutdown of the gold image from within the operating system. So I'll perform that, do a shutdown. Then I will go to the Reporting, Users, Live Session screen on the Management Console and do auto refresh and watch for MCAdmin 1. I'm waiting for this session to be shut down. There it is. This is an important step to protect the newly updated gold image from potential corruption if the virtual session was still active. Because the last step from the gold image management screen is to click Check-in to finalize the changes to the gold image and make it ready for provisioning. When you do a check-in, this function transfers the updated gold image data from the MCAdmins folder back to the gold image folder on the VERDE server. Now after performing a check-in, VERDE will reference a value in the Session Settings, the System tab. So we were using the default VDI. So from the Systems tab, there's a value called Time Between Update Ready Notifications. This is in minutes. And this is used to control when VERDE will notify all users assigned to this gold image, telling them that changes have been made and that they need to shut down their virtual desktop and restart it to see the changes. This gives the end users the flexibility to perform the shutdown when it is convenient for them, or they can wait until the end of their workday to perform the shutdown. Continuing with managing gold images, over to the right next to the check-in button is a button called Revert a Snapshot. You click this button to see the number of system layers that are presented for this gold image. Here you can see that there are several layers. VERDE displays the date and timestamp of the layer and the layer name and number. For this gold image, I have the original layer, guest.img, and 9 additional layers, one for each time the gold image was edited and checked in. If I had made changes to this gold image and performed a check-in and realized later that there were problems with the previous session, or even a session from further back, I can revert this gold image back to another layer by choosing the date and time and clicking under the Revert column. As soon as I click Yes to confirm the revert, VERDE removes the previous layers and updates the gold image profile with the new layer information that is stored in the gold image directory in the file called vb.gold. There are 2 other important gold image functions to show you. Over to the right next to the Checkout button is the Clone Image button or icon and Copy Image icon. The Clone Image icon creates a new gold image that becomes a small subset of an existing gold image, the parent, by leveraging a major portion of the parent image that becomes an integral part of the new cloned image. You will be prompted to enter a new image name, a title, and a description of the gold image that you're going to clone here. And then you will assign one or more MCAdmins. Now the parent gold image and the clone are linked at a partial level. The purpose of the clone function was to significantly reduce VERDE server disk space when creating a new gold image by cloning a gold image. Note, it is important that the parent gold image always remain active since the clone relies on a major portion of the parent gold image. The cloned image is a variant of the parent gold image and has its own life cycle independent of the parent image going forward. Changes made to either gold image has no effect on the other, as long as the parent gold image remains active. The other icon is the Copy Image icon. This is a very useful function if you need to make a variant of another gold image and add additional content that appeals to a different user group. You will be prompted to enter a new image name, a title and a description of this gold image copy, and assign one or more MC admins. This gold image becomes a completely separate entity within VERDE with its own life cycle and no dependency on another gold image. The cost is that it will use more disk space on the VERDE server. This concludes this video managing VERDE gold images.